Today is the day we are going to transplant. Looking like everything's doing quite well. Celery over here, only got one tiny little sprout. Never actually grown celery before, so that should be interesting. Tomatoes are all looking really good. My peppers are coming up slowly. More tomatoes here, looking pretty good. There's a couple of the peat pods that didn't take. The seeds don't seem to have taken yet. That's kind of normal, so if that's happening to you, don't worry about it. You can always plant more. Now the ones that I want to replant today is kale. So kale is here. Here it is, leggy kale, ready to be potted into different plants, separated and potted. This one looks like only one seed came up. So that should be easy to separate. Same with this one. Here, it looks like we might have two. Any of them that are, an inch or two tall, they're looking strong and ready for the next phase. You can definitely go ahead and repot. So I'm gonna take you upstairs and show you how I do that. Okay, so I'm upstairs. I got my peat pods with me. I have these little black plastic containers that have holes in the bottom. They're just, you can buy them at the gardening center. I got some organic premium vegetable and herb mix. Never tried this one before. I'm gonna try it, see how it does. It looks like it's got some good stuff in there. So I'm gonna dip this in to the potting soil. I'm gonna fill it up about 3/4 full. I've got a little planting tray like we used before with no holes in the bottom. I'm gonna do a little bottom water here because like I said, there's holes in the bottom, so it will soak up from the bottom. Just making sure that one actually doesn't have holes in the bottom. I'm gonna pour a little bit of water in here and then I'm gonna let it soak up and moisten the soil from the bottom up. Before you start separating your plants, your little seedlings, you want to make sure that the soil is moist. It's going to make it a lot easier to separate them. So we're going to do, which ones were we going to do? We were going to do our kale. Yeah, so these two for sure. You want to do the biggest ones first. So I'm going to moisten this up a little bit. Through the process of these growing, you saw that I had my dome and it was nice and humid in there. Hopefully you're checking them every day or every second day to make sure that these little peat pods don't dry out. I had to do 1 or 2 bottom waters during this while this was growing. And then almost every day I had to spray some of them. Not all of them. It was interesting. I think I might have had a little bit of a faulty peat pod situation because some of them just didn't retain as much water as others. So very easy to solve that. You never want to let them dry out, but you also don't want them to overwater them. So as long as they've got some nice give and some nice moisture in them, they're going to be happy. So getting these guys out can be a little tricky. I'm going to pop from the bottom here. So there's our one guy, kale guy. This guy's real tall too. Here you go. And this is really cool. You can see how the roots are starting to grow out right through the peat pod. This is so exciting because this is one step closer to growing in the greenhouse. If you guys haven't watched our videos about what we're going to be doing with our greenhouse this year, I highly suggest you do. We have all year round rammed earth geothermal greenhouse that James is building for us. I'll link the videos in the description, but yeah, we're very excited about that. James and I are both vegetarians, so having vegetables growing all year round here at the homestead is going to be game changer, life changer. Knowing where your food comes from is just so important, especially right now in the way that the world is. Okay, so there's definitely more we can do here, but I want to get to it. All right, so we've got a nice, moist, ready to separate peat pod. You can see again the little roots coming through, so we want to be very careful when we start taking it apart. So this little membrane is the first thing that comes off. You're going to do it nice and gently, and you can see the roots just come right through it. To start with because it's just one plant. There's not going to be any separation needed. Only one of the seeds that I planted in here originally sprouted, so that's a real easy one. What I like to do is just loosen up the bottom a little bit so that it knows that it can spread its wings, its roots, to grow into a bigger pot, into a bigger plant. I'm going to take my little pot here, soaked up a little bit of water in the bottom. I'm gonna make a small little indent and I'm gonna place it, pop it in there. Okay, and then I'm gonna get a little bit of soil here. Whoop. Top it up. I'm not going to add any fertilizer or anything fancy to this. I mean, it says it's premium organic vegetable herb mix. 20% bigger plants, we shall see. I'm going to go with what I bought here and see how it goes. I'll spray the top of the soil for now, and then I'm going to put it back in to do some more bottom watering here, and then we're going to do a top water after. Go. Our first transplant. Beautiful. Kale. And I'm going to need to label these as well. Don't let me forget. All right. So here's one where we've got, excuse me. It looks like we've got 3. So I don't know, I think I put 2 or 3 seeds in each one. So this one, it looks like everybody was a winner. Moisten it up a little bit. Okay, so this is a good one to show what to do when you have more than one little plant growing. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to tell this story, but last year I did this exact thing when we lived in the city to prepare for moving out here because I knew we had a greenhouse. Anyway, like I said, pretty rookie at gardening. I mean, I had planted and done flowers and stuff, but I'd never done a garden before. So when I got to this phase, I literally just took off the membrane as I'm doing now, moistened it, and then put it into its next pot. I didn't separate the plants. Huge rookie move. I ended up continuing that on once they grew big in these. I planted them into the garden, into the growing boxes that we have out in the greenhouse. And my dad actually came to visit and been farming his whole life. And he asked me, you know, Michelle, did you separate your little plants? Because it looks like you've got more than one growing in one little cluster. And I said, no, I didn't. So we ended up doing really well considering. Obviously, if there's more than one plant trying to grow in one root system, the plant's not going to grow as big because it's going to be fighting for all the nutrients, and it needs to be on its own standalone to function at its best. So this year, not making that mistake. All right, story time's over. All right, so I'm going to peel back very gently. You can moisten it a little bit as you go. You want to be, this is where your patience comes in. You want to gently separate very gently. Ooh. You guys. Got one guy down. Okay. So this one I'm actually going to keep. I'm not going to separate him anymore because he is ready. Oh, what a cute little plant. Look how cute it is. Wonderful. Okay, give her a little pat. Kale is really cool because it actually looks like kale even at this phase. Okay. It's a good trick to just tap it down. Get rid of all the little air pockets, air holes. A nice dense soil, and I'm going to pop it back into its bottom water. Okay, so this one has two little guys. There we go. Two plants. Yeah. Get this guy. Pop them in. Now, truth be told, these are a little small now that I have them separated, but I think they're gonna do just fine. You could definitely wait. I was really anxious to show you guys this. I've had a lot of people asking me how my seedlings are doing, and I'm really excited to show you guys how to do this. This is such an easy way to successfully grow your own food if that's what you're into. Really feel lucky that I was taught how to do this. So yeah, anyway, I'm anxious to show you. I'm anxious to get out into the greenhouse. So yeah, you could definitely wait until they're, this big, 3-4 inches tall. A lot of these I'm not even gonna touch right now. I'm gonna go put them back underneath the grow lights in the dome when we're done here and let them grow a little bit more. But I wanted to show you and put up a video so that if you guys are on the same timeline as me, that you'll know what to do next. Okay, so I'm gonna label the ones that I've done so far. They're all kale, so really easy. Kale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kale. pop those on there. Give it a little bit of water on the top. Let it soak in a bit. Awesome. Now we're ready to bring it downstairs and put them under the lights. Okay, here we are. So again, I've got a little seedling starter tray with no holes in the bottom because I'm gonna add some water here and let it bottom water soak up as much water as it would like right now. Okay, and then I've got my grow light up here plugged in. I'm gonna leave it on for, I think it's 18 hours still. I'm gonna leave it on, it's not gonna hurt it. If you don't have a grow light at this phase, you could definitely put it in a sunny window if that's your preference or if that's what you've got going on. That will totally work. Yeah, and then we just leave these. This is the phase before going into the greenhouse. So these guys are gonna get nice and big and strong. And then once we've got, here in Canada, our last frost gone and done, we can move it on into the greenhouse and then it can grow and produce food for us all year round, hopefully. Very exciting. They're looking a little sad right now because they've just been transplanted, but they will look better soon. And I'll definitely do an update video for you guys. I'm going to continue putting together another tray of seedlings here. And thank you everybody for watching the video today. I will link at the end of this video the starting seedlings indoor video, so you know what I'm doing here. You can go backtrack to that one before you watch this one and watch this one again. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video with anyone you think would be interested in learning how to grow their own food outdoors. And thanks for watching.